So Alex, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and like your family background and something about your youth?
That's a lot. Okay, so something about myself, something about my family background, and something about my youth. All right, so background wise, I'm from Mexico. Okay, so my family moved us up here when I was 6 years old. So I was like a little kid, but I've grown up pretty much. Yeah, I pretty much grown up and had the rest of my life here
In California.
in California,
California.
in the Bay Area,
Mhm.
and specifically in San Jose for a large part of that. I went away to college for a little bit and to Berkeley, and then came back, and then I went to San Jose State,
Oh, wow.
and then but yeah, the Bay
So you've
Area.
been all over the Bay Area.
All over the Bay Area, but still the Bay Area.
Mhm.
And it's been a great experience. I mean, I love and I've loved seeing how the evolution of the Bay Area, because when I came here in the 70s, this wasn't Silicon Valley. It was it was the beginning of some of those tech companies were around, and some of those tech companies from back then, like Fairchild and other ones, you probably never heard of Fairchild, right? So, semiconductor companies, right? A lot of those are no longer around. Sun Microsystems, but they were like some of the first companies. One of the older companies that's still around, and was probably one of the iconic Silicon Valley companies, is IBM, and they're still around. Another one is Intel, they're still around. HP is another old school Silicon Valley company, and they're still around, and they've evolved to do other things besides, products like printers and computers and stuff like that. But they also have other enterprise solutions that they do. Anyway, and then so you fast forward, and there's the landscape, literally the landscape of Silicon Valley was a whole bunch of orchards that were like apple orchards or different kinds of orchards that were the properties were slowly being bought to be developed to have campuses or like business parks and stuff like that. And then these companies that were coming in and understanding how there's a lot of opportunity for us to grow technology companies here or businesses here, they started to move in and take over where the orchards were. And we almost have no orchards anymore.
Yeah, we don't, not until like a couple hours away.
Or here in Half Moon Bay, right? We have farms.
Yeah.
But in like San Jose, Sunnyvale, Santa Clara, there's pretty much all that's gone. You have to go down to Gilroy, Hollister, Salinas, and stuff like that, right? So that's the evolution of it, right?
Wow.
And now we have like these mega companies like the LinkedIn's, the Meta or Facebook, the Googles, and all these companies that are so many years down the road now are all over the place here in what is like what a lot of people call Silicon Valley, which is like mostly the South Bay. But it's gotten extended to like some people call companies that are set up in San Francisco, like they still think that's kind of like
part of Silicon Valley.
Like their version of Silicon Valley North, I guess, is companies over there like Salesforce and a whole bunch of others. So when I came here, none of that was here, and the thing that has been really cool is for me in my lifetime to see the transition or the evolution of how we were like this kind of sleepy area, had industry, had some jobs, had a lot of agriculture, and now it's all shifted to we're like this tech hub of the world.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's crazy.
Yeah.
To see how everything's changed in just
Exactly.
a number of years.
Yeah, exactly. And in my lifetime, right? So
and you've seen it all go down.
I have, and it's exciting. And then it's like the other thing that's exciting is like to see where it's going to go, because these companies they got their, they say pedal to the metal, right? Like they're going trying to innovate, trying to see what's the latest and greatest thing that they can do with all the resources and the technology that they're evolving. And so it'll be interesting where it goes.
Yeah.
And for me, in terms of my career, what I ended up doing out of college was I worked in human resources.
Interesting.
So from the very beginning, I've been involved in conversations, which like still like right now are ongoing conversations.
Which is super important.
Yeah,
Super important.
but it's like the D&I, right? And before it wasn't called D&I, diversity and inclusion. You know, but now it's like this thing that's like really on the radar of a lot of companies. And I think for me, the most important thing with that is like, okay, who's really authentic about their intentions to really do something significant and something that's going to have an impact, and who's like really just saying, okay, what do we need to do to check off the box and say that we're doing something, you know? And so I think for people like me, it's like our job to really understand who those companies are or who those collaborators are, and then really engage them in conversations so that we can have impact. Especially in the Latino community, we need those champions, right? We need those champions to be able to move initiatives forward so that our youth, our community can have access to careers that a lot of times we've been kind of, you know, not able to participate in.
Not able to access, not have the opportunity. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so
that's very important. And so speaking upon that, so what you have your foundation, your company, Silicon Valley Latino, and so what inspired you to create that, and just to like what started it? And like where are you guys at now compared to where you were a couple years ago?
Yeah.